We're doing 2 videos this week, y'all. Welcome back. Tyler talks twice in 1 week. I'm gearing up for Nats, so I do want to do more videos. I would like to do 2 videos weekly. Um, just showcasing pretty much anything else. Like try to think outside the box. Any other decks. Um, if you've been playing a deck for a while and you're like, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a little too slow, or maybe it's just missing something, packing a punch offensively, defensively, whatever it is. I'm going to try to go through. Going to show a demon build that does a lot and actual nativity build that uses a little bit of the hand advantage aspect that's really not used for nativity. So we'll show a few. This is a very popular deck with New Testament Gold and Crimson. That is a popular deck right now. So what I have, is not a popular deck from what I've seen. New Testament Gold and Crimson is, because of the synergy with the dual alignment characters and the enhancements. But really most importantly is you have ways to get rid of their, usually hand and deck protection are one and the same. Like it's usually just one fortress. So when you get rid of that one fortress, it really opens up your gold cards for reserving cards from their deck. And then it also hits their crimson cards as well. And then you have access to their hand from a crimson standpoint. So, let's see. What I think with New Testament Gold, yes, it's popular. It is a good deck. It has a lot of tricks, a lot of strength. A little slow, so that's where the Thieves come in to help it out. But I see a lot of timeouts with that build. And I could be completely wrong. Let me know. It's fine by me. So I really like what Silver's doing, and then Silver also has just a tough time with enhancements. They're really predicated on their heroes. And if you have Guardians from the Galaxy, Guardians from Glory, and Gabriel, you have 2 heroes that can ban 2 Gospel heroes, and then Watchful Servant can go to Faithful, and you have Jarius that you can end the battle with, and you don't have to show the dominant to negate. But you also have Guardians that can go to Jarius' daughter, so you have like Expatriator to Guardians that can go to Jarius' daughter. So you have some nice little bands. But I would say use the full ability of a card. And with Star of Bethlehem, and this is where Monday I was talking about being cute. For last week with my deck, I played a district, and I was trying to be too cute with Star of Bethlehem, but really all you got to do. Also, look at how good this card looks. That looks awesome. I was trying to use Star of Bethlehem for not just the draw, and yeah, of course, the stars, but I was trying to get the most value from the stars instead of just drawing a bunch. Like, you already draw enough. I was trying to use it for, like, reserve cards from their deck, too. So I figured, why not put it all together? This is a very balanced deck. I was talking to Jay, and he's not a fan, and that's okay. And I was talking to Jay about this deck in general, and New Testament Gold Crimson, one of the strengths is the brigade count, like keeping the brigade count low for Matthew, and that's okay. Yeah, I get that. I'm adding brigades here, but I think I'd take care of the other weaknesses. Same with gold, like adding in just this gold, or same with silver, adding in the gold splash really helps balance out the weaknesses of both silver and gold. So we have some really good bans, some really good consistency cards, just strong attacks in general. And then I did bring in Sychar and Jerusalem for both more reserve access, and I like sidecar and manger because I can come in with Gabriel to watchful servant, and I can get a draw too. Like you block me, I get the draw, and I reserve the bottom card, I get the draw. So I I do like that aspect. Um, it's nice because this offense can be a little slow, and Manger's just really good right now in general. I also like the play a lost soul because I am trying to get to Galileans and imitate turn one to really help me get my key defensive cards. I swapped out Coliseum for Den of Thieves. I was talking to two people, Rob Smith and Noah Wagenknecht, and Noah was actually telling me about Den of Thieves first, and I will completely admit I was underrating this card. I like that these may use any evil enhancement. Cool. Like there's times where I've taken stuff and I just don't really need it. That's not like a huge deal because a lot of times I'm just going to take your good to win the battle. So it wasn't like a big deal. And then the wall occupied I wasn't a fan of. But as I'm not really trying to block off Highwayman turn one. I'm wanting to get out of Fortress. So getting out Den of Thieves so quick and then being able to pop out Lost Souls, I can start doing Galileans to get ambushing bandits in Den of Thieves. And that's really nice. Um, and then as soon as you play a dominant, I can take a card from your territory. That really helps with taking your hand or deck protection and taking your three woes. Like it's Noah was telling me it's the best, really one of the best three woes counters, and he's not wrong. So the fact that I have Pilfer and Den of Thieves, like I could really take what I need to. Anytime you play a dominant, I get to take a card in your territory, and then anytime you draw, you got to give me one as well, and I'm going to take your hand protection. So that really ensures my Condemned Thief works. So my last video on Monday, I was saying you better have hand protection, and then here I go saying, well, I can just take your hand protection. So the meta's all over the place. You got to be prepared for all sorts of defenses and how they can attack you. And then if a lone thief blocks, it's also nice because one of my favorite plays I talked about Monday was Condemned Thief to Thievery of Judas, and I don't really see people play Thievery of Judas. It's just not used, and I don't know if people forget about the parentheses or what it is. I know I was talking to Rob, and he was joking. He was like, I just glanced over that or didn't really notice it or forgot about it. If used by a thief, it just doesn't matter in this deck. So they're all thieves. You may play an enhancement from a reserve. That is insane, regardless of brigade. Can you imagine if you come at me and I Condemned Thief, I take something from your hand, it's my initiative because I'm a 3/4, and then I play your unsuccessful against you, or your futile Inquisition, or I took your Herod's Temple and I have Chamber Herod's Temple out, and I play not RDJ, but I play like a blow-up card. That's one less block you can do, and I just got a free block. Or it's turn one, I took a card from your hand, and then I played Thievery. I took a good card, and then I played Thievery of Judas and took your evil card. I mean, once again, I took something, you couldn't do anything about it, and I gained a resource and took an additional resource from you and got a block. And I'm going to get a rescue off of it as well. So really good, not being played that I've seen much. So I like it. Goes in here. I really like the interrupts that I'm playing. The negate and take is devastating when I was playing against Hendrix. And I'm sorry, y'all. It was 5-1. It was not 5-0. I'm sorry when I was playing Hendrix. But he attacked me with Jacob to Abraham. I played Pilfer. I negated his Jacob. He had to put his card back. I drew one. I took his Jacob, and then I played Christian Martyr on his Abraham, so he couldn't negate. And that was it. Those were his two main heroes. And I was in the driver's seat. And then, not only that, I drew into Prosperity, and I kind of looked at him, and he was like, oh, man, don't do it. And I discarded my own Jacob to draw two because I had his Jacob. So we got a laugh out of it, but it hurt him. Pilfer being able to take is extremely good. Um, I'm always going to use that in battle. Once again, that is a 2-for-1. I'm going to negate. It's more than that. I'm going to negate your card, and then I'm going to draw one, and then I'm going to take your card. So if I have Plunderers to Condemned and then I play Pilfer, like I'm just preventing and taking and taking and negating and drawing and taking. Like, could you keep up with all that? That was a lot. So these are very good. I do think they're better than Harrods. I know there's discussions going on. And the whole thing is, oh, well, they take more room. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Um, so for the Harrod build here, this is 6. And I've seen Harrods with 7 to 9 evil characters. And I'm running 8. And then I've seen Harrods with Sheol. I like Jerusalem in general. But yeah, you would lose Den of Thieves because you're playing Herod, so you lose Den of Thieves. So this is one defensive card you don't need. I could take Jerusalem out of this deck, but my argument is Highwayman pops these cards down, so I don't need Den of Thieves. I don't need Jerusalem, but I get so much value where Herods have Herodias. I mean, that's the main thing that I like about Herods. They have Herodias. Or I can just take stuff from your reserve. So I'm not big in Herods on type 1. You don't have to play 5 enhancements, but I could also Christian Martyr should probably be falling away because I do have Zacchaeus in here. So Christian Martyr should be falling away. It's more flexible, and I have the potential choose. So I could do that. And if I need to, I could always bounce Zacchaeus with Plunderers if I want to end the chain with him. So yeah, Christian Martyr comes out for falling away. But I'm saying like Wages could come out. I haven't really needed Wages. I could take out Wages for Hopper. I could take out Wages for Great White Throne because I like getting my heroes. But yeah, so the whole Thieves takes more cards, I don't fully agree with because, like I'm saying, if I change to Christian Martyr, that's just another target that Wages can't get. Or if I change Christian Martyr to Falling Away, that's another target Wages can't get. So Wages cannot get Pilfer. They cannot get Hurling Insults. They cannot get Seized. They cannot get Thievery of Judas. None of my dominants. They can get the Thief. And yeah. And that's not an actual discard ability, I don't think. So, yep. So Wages can come out because it gets Left for Dead. But Den of Thieves can get that. So there you go. Wages comes out. Look at us doing things. What am I doing? Wages is out. And bring in Falling Away and take out Christian. And we're still at 49 cards. So kind of look back over everything. And do we want another Crimson Enhancement? Like we know that's Falling Away. This is gone. And we can bring in another Crimson Enhancement. Now I immediately went to Gospel of Christ, but I can bring in Hypocrisy. And I could bring in Betrayal. Like that's really not bad. I can bring in Ambush as well to main deck or to reserve and swap a card out. Like Left for Dead could go main deck. I'm not a huge fan of Left for Dead in the main deck. I haven't had a lot of success with Bartimaeus, so I could take that out as well. So yeah, there's a few things. I think Betrayal's the easiest card to just kind of slot in and not worry about it. But I have a chump block where I can just take a card from your hand and underdeck an evil New Testament in battle, and then get the protection. So, I don't know. I do like ambush if you're bringing in Temple Thieves or Barabbas. And then strike the Shepherd's good as well, especially when I have Herod's Temple and Chamber. But anyway, there's stuff here we can do. I think I'll just add in Betrayal and leave it alone for now. Just because it goes with the whole theme, and it gives me the extra draw 3, and it's good on Condemned Thief and Mocking Thief. Like Mocking Thief comes out 1/3, plays Betrayal. I get the draw 3 under deck from your hand and take from your deck. Like that is very good. Even if you die, like you just got +5 cards, or +5 net. You got +4 cards and you underdecked 1. I think that's good, and I'll kind of show you this deck is still very balanced, and it can block. It can definitely mess up the opponent. It is a little bit higher of a skill gap. It's also not like a complete rush deck, but it helps out with how slow New Testament gold can be and silver, and it also offsets silver how it sometimes lacks in battle a little punch. So we'll see what it can do. We're at 50 cards. We'll load it over. So then right here, we look. I do not need my Star of Bethlehem turn 1. Even though I do have my Chamber and my Crowd's Choice, I could go right to a Heavenly Host. Now, I'm saying all this because I see Highwayman, and that's where I was talking about Monday. You have to know your star abilities. You cannot take time on your star abilities. You have to go in there, open, and say, what do I want to do? Do I want to play Galileans? No, there's nothing I would do there. Do I want Distressed Out? No, I don't. I don't have any Lost Souls unless they have Harvest or Hopper. I'm not playing my own Lost Soul, but I'm definitely going to play a Lost Soul from their deck and get a look at their deck. And Highwayman, I don't think I top deck because although I would lose my Star of Bethlehem, that's okay. I really like the idea of just going Chamber, Crowd's Choice into Heavenly Host and getting a draw 5. Like that's really, really good. If they got to go first, and I know I get my draw 3, then I could do Highwayman top deck and go from there. Assuming we go first this time, I would play a Lost Soul from their deck. I'd leave it at that. And pretty much we get to go crazy. I don't need to necessarily show Sheol or Jerusalem right away. I don't have any sort of benefit from Herod's Temple to gain. I play Crowd's Choice is good. And you already know 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're like, yeah, that was kind of a ridiculous opening hand. Yeah, it was. Sometimes I say, no, not really. This deck's built like that. But no, this was different. So now we're good here. If you're shuffling too, do a thorough, I'll say efficient. Like if you're just pulling one card out, do a quick shuffle and put it back. And also know, hey, cut. If you know they're not cutting, I like to say, hey, you let me know when you want to cut. You could always cut the deck. But other than that, I'm just going to shuffle and put my deck back. And you need to speed up gameplay. And then I'll play Star of Bethlehem for 5. And I'd be able to now, whoops, what am I doing? I'd be able to get the Amazing Faith again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. And I get to play another Lost Soul from your deck. And now I have Galileans and Prosperity. We're going to use Galileans first, and I say that because like you get to pick These are both Mays, so you get to pick which one you activate first. Um, I want to ensure that I get my uh, Condemned Thief, and then I don't want to necessarily draw into my Condemned Thief. So I want to take that I want to increase my odds for getting 2 other cards essentially. So I don't need Temple Thieves right now. So I go to Condemned, quick shuffle, flip him over, and now I get to discard a card from hand to draw 2. That's tough. I have to keep my Pilfer because I have Highwayman, Condemned, Pilfer. I hate to say it. I think I lose my Thievery of Judas here. I like having my Guardians from Glory, but I like having my Soul Tech, right up front. So discard Thievery, and I get to draw 2. So just like that, New Testament Gold. I know this isn't a completely normal hand because we had the crowd's choice, but the fact that it's built this way means it's easily possible to get cards that you need to get some sort of crazy setup going. You don't see this with silver all the time. You don't see this with New Testament Gold, just the speed burst. So now we can put down Den of Thieves. We can put down Jerusalem. I kind of like staggering these cards and Sheol. We put down Resurrection Revealer. Like, look at how much we have going for us turn 1. That is a lot of value. I don't know if we need Herod's Temple out right now, but we do want the Sheol trigger. I'm weary about playing Highwayman down, but I'm definitely not going to put Condemned Thief. If they search turn 1, then I get to put up a Lost Soul. If they do one other search in battle or on their turn, then it turns into a battle challenge. So I do want to maintain unity before I attack. Now remember, I haven't done 1 TC yet, so I'm not going to play. I'm rarely ever going to play Pilfer outside of battle. I'm going to ensure I have hand advantage, which I do. I get to draw all those cards. I get to put them all down, and I still have hand advantage. So I go to Angel Appears, and who do we want first turn? Essentially, we get to pick. It's pretty much always Gabriel. We can do a double check, but when you look, Expatriator hits Gates of Hell and Sheol. A lot of people are using that right now. Legion of Angels, just a very good hero in battle, and it protects your gospel hero, so I do have Talitha come. And then we have Guardians from Glory to help with the soul hiding that's going on right now. And I think that's it, right? So yeah, a lot of the angels are really our support. I get to negate neutrals. Gabriel bans to anyone, so not bad. If I want, I can go Resurrection Revealer straight to a Dominant. But I don't need to do that. We're going to go Guardians to protect souls and go to Gabriel. And we're going to reserve probably your 3 woes, turn 1. Maybe another Dominant, like Falling Away, but we're probably going to reserve your 3 woes. The only reason I'm thinking about not is because I have Den of Thieves already, and I want to occupy that pretty much turn 1. As soon as you attack, I'm going to be able to draw, band, and I'm going to try to get some sort of Imitate or another Thief to put in Den of Thieves on my next turn. I wanted to have Highwayman down to block with them. So, but either way, I'm going to go straight for probably your 3 woes. Even though I know I can take it, that's fine. If as much as I like having your 3 woes, I can't have 2 in territory. So if I reserve yours, it's gone. You don't even get it the first time. I don't have much to back this up in turn 1, so I would have to be cognizant of that. But I don't really care because I have Chamber of Angels out. So I'm protecting Lost Souls. I at least have some sort of decent numbers from a stalemate perspective, and if you kill me, I go to Chamber. So that's okay. It's your turn, and I have all my evil fortresses out. I could just potentially get like a draw one from Highwayman, and I can go straight to your deck with Mocking Thief, which is also insanely good. Or I can go to Condemned Thief. From a value perspective, I just took out your three woes. If I go Highwayman to Mocking Thief and just take another one of your evil cards, like evil enhancements, that's brutal, or your good enhancement, just whatever it may be. It's you might not win the battle right now, but you win the game. But either way, I'm going to Condemned Thief because it's turn one. You don't have hand protection. I'm immediately taking an enhancement from your hand, leaving you with one, and then I can pilfer, negate, draw, take. It'd be my turn. That's pretty much O as a block there. I was playing against J.K. Powell this when did we play, Joe? Tuesday. I was playing on 4th of July in the morning, and it was what was it? Oh, he was saying he has a tough time going to a lot of upkeep triggers, remembering all of them. So, and it's funny because we talked about this with Jaden and Matt Sinclair in Discord the other night. From some players play Magic and transfer to Redemption or play both. The upkeep is different. So, what I was saying is I'll do this in games. I will say I'll draw and I'll go star upkeep, or as soon as I do my stars, I go upkeep. Like I verbally say upkeep, and I put my hands on the table, and I'm touching my card super quick, or I'm looking at them. What are my upkeep triggers? Until I know my deck 100%, I know all my upkeep triggers. Like I just look down real quick. Okay, upkeep. So I know my upkeep is Jerusalem, and it is turn 2. I could access my reserve. So I can move a random one to the top of my reserve, and it's Faithful Servant, and I can get out whatever I want. I don't remember having a territory class enhancement in my hand, so I could get Enunciation and go to a Dominant and just have a good, just not battle winner, but a good card to have in my hand, especially on a band. I really like grabbing that one. Or I could have Faithful Servant, because I can once again, instead of going ending with Gabriel, it would go Guardians from Glory to Gabriel to Faithful Servant, and then I would have Amazing Faith in my hand, and I'd be able to reserve an evil enhancement from your deck. So that's why I love Jerusalem. I can take anything. Temple Thieves can go into Den of Thieves. We're getting a lot of just card advantage and annoying things out for the opponent to deal with. We're negating their neutrals. We are negating their evil cards in territory. If they play a dominant, I get to take a card in their territory. If they search, I get to underdeck. I get to take a pretty much essentially any card from my reserve, because it's only New Testament. I get to take any card from my reserve each upkeep. I have an add to battle. I have Highwayman and Condemned, and I'm about to have Zacchaeus down after my attack, so I negate your enhancements. This is all New Testament gold silver. This is a lot, and I really do feel like it's what both New Testament gold and silver lacked. I did put my first draft of this deck on Discord. This is just a few cards modified. I like Bartimus for the late game. I haven't been using him much, though, so he's a potential that can come out. So yeah, now we don't have a territory class good enhancement to play, so I could, assuming they don't have hand protection, I could go ahead and get the further pressure, and it helps him with the hand looking, and I could underdeck a good card in their hand, or underdeck an opponent's good card, so I could even hit their hand protection if they do have it out. So I could already set myself up. I forgot Betrayal should have probably been here to begin with because it can get rid of their hand protection. So yeah, either way, if they don't have hand protection, I would go to their hand. I don't need Zacchaeus down just yet. And don't forget, I did draw Expatriator, so my ban would go Expatriator, get something out of their territory. negate an opponent's evil card and player set aside. So I either negate it or it's gone, depending on what it is. And then I go to Gabriel, who goes to Faithful Servant. I protect Lost Souls from evil cards doubly, and I reserve an evil enhancement from their deck. That is very, very good. Give them initiative, whatever they play. I mean, they could play, scattered and stuff like that. I don't care. I would just go to chamber, and then I lose my Faithful Servant. So that's okay. They play anything else, I have Amazing Faith. And I think we go to Second Coming here. And I say that because, we could go to Three Woes as well, but Resurrection Revealer could go straight to Son of God. So we kind of don't have a lot in our hand to block with. So I almost think Three Woes is the better bet, because we can only take good dominance, and just to have that extra negate to back up everyone. And I think I have to play the smart game here and take Three Woes over Second Coming, because Resurrection Revealer can grab Son of God, it can't grab Second Coming. And if I get one more Lost Soul, I could just drop the big 2. But depends on the board state. I mean, if they're not attacking and they can't do anything, then you take Second Coming there and try to end the game. Put Zacchaeus down at the end. Now it's just another layer that they have to get through. If they got hand protection there in their turn, then we really don't mind, because we get the draw 4 off Zacchaeus. So if we want to replenish our hand, we got it with Zacchaeus. So not bad. If they don't have the hand protection, we go into Condemned Thief, and we have the negate to back them up. And remember, we still have the add to battle as well. So if we needed to, we could do Condemned Thief. Whatever they play, we play Three Woes. And we could use our shield to add to battle to get our 1, 2, 3, 4 and our additional numbers for the block. So do not be afraid to use shield. I've seen that before. Don't be afraid to use shield. Even if it's to add a Temple Thieves, like a Gates of Hell Abaddon, adding a negate a good card is really good. If you think it wins you the battle right then and there, do it, instead of just trying to keep shield out. I've seen people lose games because they had shield and it couldn't do anything for them later, and they could have used it for a block earlier. So now we draw 3, and just like that, we're back up to 8, and we still have Jerusalem out, so we get an additional card from reserve. We're going to move a random card to the top of reserve, and kind of take something here. Probably going to take Annunciation, because now we have Son of God, and we kind of got everything we need. This is a pretty beastly attack that we have. And then we have a Three Woes upkeep. So we use our Three Woes for whatever we need. And we're pretty much in the driver's seat. I think we go Annunciation here, go to Second Coming, and we can go ahead and play Bada Bing, Bada Boom if need be. And the only thing would be, do we have Soul Gen here? Because I just don't know if they would have all their Lost Souls out. But as for our final attack, we have a very large attack with that. So we protect Lost Souls from evil cards. You know what? You know what we did do? We messed up, because we don't get the Jairus negate all now. Because we used our Son of God Second Coming. So I needed to make sure if I was going to attack with Jairus that I needed to have my dominant. So we would have missed that, but we have Expatriator, Gabriel. We can reserve the bottom card of a deck or draw X. And then I get the ban to Jairus. And I'll just say you have 3 heroes out at this point. 1, 2, 3. And then I get the band to Jairus. Daughter comes to the top of deck to toss the next. Um, and we're good to go from that perspective. Messed up by not having a dominant in my hand for Jairus to negate everything. All that would have done was Guardians, bands to Expatriator would have been kicked out, and that's what the ban would have been, and I wouldn't have been able to protect Lost Souls if I had the dominant. So they would have to be able to block the toss. I really don't love this attack if I don't negate evil cards. But remember, if we have Teaching in Parables, Faithful Servant, Gabriel, and you reserve one or two of their evil cards, and you attack with a Jairus that tosses the first, they just don't have anything left. They didn't draw their evil enhancements, or we reserved them, so they can't block. And if they can block, we go to Chamber, and our defense can really hold up. We feel confident with our defense. We already played the Annunciation, so I get the Teaching in Parables on him next turn. And we have our full-on... We want to put Plunderers down because we're going to go Thief to Plunderers. So we're going to go ahead and negate a good card in a territory. And guess what? We get to discard our token to take their card. It's just another way to get around whatever you have down. So this in general, this whole deck does a lot and makes you have to get around a lot. And if you have protection, it doesn't matter. And then I exchange to Plunderers. I can go to Highwayman, potentially draw 2, draw 1 for that, get the token, go to Condemned because I definitely got rid of your hand protection. You really don't have anything left. I feel like I've taken 3 of your cards or underdecked it. So a Seized should be able to grab your heroes and put them in territory, 1 or 2 depending on your brigades. I'm very confident in this build. I think it's very good. Just with the sheer amount that it can do. I can look at your hand, and I could top deck an evil card from reserve. We'll go ahead and do that. And my upkeep triggers. Oh, I have those were my star abilities, and now my Lawless can take what I just top decked. And I hit shuffle, but they were supposed to be that way. I can imitate. I know there's no other evil cards, so I can imitate Harvest or Humble. Got my sidecar out late, but that's okay. My next one is Jerusalem. I can reserve a card to get a card. And there you go. Make sure you're using the right Angel Lord. Make sure you're using the right dominance. And then I still haven't done my 1 TCE. Throw down Ambushing Bandits. Make sure you never did any dominance throughout the game. This is a higher skill gap. That's what I'm saying. You have a lot going on. Like I have a 3 woes trigger that I went over. I hit my Imitate. I put my Harvest down right. I did my Lawless. I did my Star. I did my Jerusalem. I glanced over my 3 woes. But you're gonna create tokens, and you're gonna sacrifice tokens for the Thief. You're gonna be putting stuff in Den of Thieves, and you're gonna make sure that you're taking their cards when they play dominance. This is a high skill gap deck, so make sure you know what you're getting into. There's a lot of triggers to miss. I don't think I need to make any more Heavenly Host tokens, but I will just make a couple just in case. Put down Sidecar as a fortress, and I can play Teaching in Parables, negate a card in their territory, and at this point I just don't know how you really block. I do have a dominant for Jairus, and I have Jairus' daughter, so my rescue would be Expatriator to Gabriel to Watchful Servant to Jairus, and Jairus can go to hand. It's hand, territory, reserve, or discard pile. And I also can show my Angel Lord, so I negate evil cards, I toss the next, I have a 4-hero band with an Angel Lord in my hand. It's very good. Very, very good. And it's like, oh well, if you lose your Jairus, it's fine. You still have a Legion of Angels band. You still reserve and hit you from their deck. You hit from their hand. Um, your reserve has plenty in there. I like Unholy Writ right now with Jaden's Choose the Blocker stuff. I like having that extra. Even though there's Resurrection Revealer out there, remember we could take it. We can negate Resurrection Revealer. We can discard them. We can take them. So I like having Unholy Writ to where when Zacchaeus or Simon comes into battle, you can capture them. So I do like that aspect. I feel like I have Falling Away, Three Woes, Unholy Writ, and Shield for Choose the Blocker shenanigans. I also negate evil cards in their territory, and I negate enhancements in their territory. So I feel like this is really good. Sorry, Jaden. I just feel like this is really good against Jaden's build right now. I just say that because I respect that deck so much. It's very good. I know Jay does not like playing against Thieves from a Soulhide perspective. He doesn't like New Testament Gold. I do think there's way more to this deck than New Testament Gold and Crimson. No offense to other people. I just like this version better. And you also have 2 heroes that protect Lost Souls from evil cards, and their hand and deck's never protected because you're always having multiple ways to take whatever they have. And then you're constantly hitting their evil enhancements. There's not many decks, period, that can block in Type 1 without enhancements. It's pretty much no decks, but there's plenty of Herods, Demons, and Emperors that have protection, but then they would have nothing to back it up. So as long as you can just get through protection, then you're reserving their evil enhancements from their deck is just insane. So, and remember, we could always play our Zacchaeus for Choose the Blocker. We could always have Gabriel to Watchful Servant to Zacchaeus to hit their territory. And if we have, I know I reserved it and I never got it because it's just a test game. I didn't feel like I needed it. But if I have the Manger up to negate your Sheol or Gates of Hell, just something I need to hit, and then I have my Psychar out, I'm just getting a draw 2, and then I'm getting Watchful Servant for a draw 3, or Legion of Angels for a draw 3, and I'm just grabbing 5 cards a turn. Like, that's very, very good. I do like his sacrifice in here. I have 2 artifacts because I have an Angel Appears that can top deck a New Testament artifact from reserve, and I have Lost Coin Found. So I have 2 ways to get artifacts, plus Jerusalem, plus New Covenant. So I can get out. New Covenant can get his sacrifice. And I do like the CBI by a demon. You see a lot of demons right now. So I like the Convert All. And then I really like the Negate and Banish All Evil Non-Humans in Battle. That's CBI. That's very good with Demon Thieves. So it's good. But it can come out. I mean, you can play something else in the reserve. Like I said, like this Bartimaeus, I don't know, it doesn't have to go in there. I don't really use it a lot. You can put something else in the reserve for Bartimaeus, but I really, really like this build. I think it's very good. It plays like a D-heavy deck almost. It plays very balanced, but it's not slow. And y'all, people are timing out left and right. I mean, it's almost inevitable in Type 2, but in Type 1, people are timing out all over the place. This deck plays fast, and it puts layers all over the board that you have to get around, which speeds up the game. They play a Dominant, take a card. They choose a blocker, Unholy Rhythm, add to battle. Like make sure they don't just get that rescue. It's got resource advantage. It has the Star of Bethlehem grab. It has the Manger sidecar that can get some resources. Jerusalem, like you see what I was doing. I Jerusalem for a card, and I have Manger and sidecar. That's 3 cards without it having a hero to draw. That's 3 cards right there, and then I can draw 3 in battle with 2 of my heroes. So I can generate 6 resources a turn, plus I'm taking your resources. So it's a very, very fun deck. If you are playing New Testament Gold Thieves and you've had success, but you're wondering if it's going to be competitive, maybe look at this build. I can't say it enough, it's a lot of fun to play. So hope you liked it. I like keeping these videos at 45 minutes, going right on 46. So enjoy. I will be back on Monday, I think. So talk to you all then.